Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm going to give you a really quick speed through update of what's going on in the garden, what's a success and what's a failure. So without further ado, let's get on with it. I'm going to start with the failure, my corn. Got off to a really bad start with the wet weather. The slugs attacked it. Once it got through that, we then it kind of picked up. We've had a really wet winter followed by a really wet spring, really cold late spring, and then we've had a drought. We've had virtually no rain right through the summer, and the sweet corn's really suffered. We had some this week and it really wasn't that great, so it's just not been that brilliant. Interestingly, I noticed that a lot of people are able to sort of put up quite a lot of food, and we this year have noticed we're really struggling to do that. Not only are yields down, but I think it's just we're a large family. There are 7 of us, but only 5 of us live at home. But even so, with 5 mouths to feed at home, the food just gets eaten up. So I don't have enough to just put up for the winter. So I know I need to up it for next year. That aside, that's my failure. If you just come down here, this is one of my successes. Every year this is a success. I absolutely love growing parsley. It just does so well. I have it with virtually every meal. I absolutely love it. So this will do till next spring. It will go right through the winter and I'll be able to harvest this right through till the spring, and it's fine. It's not too late to get some in now. What I'd suggest you do is go to the supermarket, get one of their parsley pots and split it up and then plonk that in, and that should sort of get, that should take hold so that you've got some parsley through the winter. Love parsley. So a success. Another success is here. I visited Saran over at So Grow and Cook recently, and I was blown away by her onions. To be honest, I was blown away by her entire garden. Small holding, not a garden, it's a small holding. Anyhow, she gave me some Egyptian walking onions and I've sown those and they came up straight away, and some Welsh onions, and I think I've sown these a little bit too thickly because I didn't think the seed would germinate, but as you can see it's been absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get these in the ground because I'm really trying to up my perennial vegetables in the garden so that I've got more of that going on. A mixture of a story for tomatoes, and they're only just really starting to come. I mean, this one's lovely. This is a forget what it's called. What's this one called? Can you remember what it's called, John? You can't remember. Might have to check that and stick that up here somewhere. But I've got various ones in here. Like for instance, this one. I mean, look at these. These ones. These are pretty good. These are Heinz Big Boy. So they're, I think the clue's in the name. They're grown for sort of bottling, really. Just behind them here, I don't know if you can see these orange ones. These are Sun Gold. They're an F1 variety. They are so delicious. And these won a prize at my local gardening club, gardening show. They came second for flavour. I think the only reason they didn't come first is that I didn't pick them ripe enough because we keep eating them and there wasn't enough on the plant ripe enough. So anyway, let's move on. I had a cup of tea somewhere. Where is it? Need my cup of tea. Another success story. I picked one earlier. Just down here are my squash. I think I picked 2. I don't know what I've done with it. These are sweet dumpling. We're not a huge fan of squashes in my family, but these ones are really nice and they're gorgeous as well. Now what I did, I'm just going to pop it down there, is just through here. Here's the other one, I found it. So just through here, this is where I grew potatoes last year in this section, and now I've got the squash growing in here. So I've really maxed out what I've been able to grow in here. This is the section down the hill, the water runs and it collects down here, and I know squash really like a moist growing condition. And if you look at the leaves, they've not suffered with the drought at all, because it really is, if you dig down here, this is one bit that does stay wet. Whilst we're here, around here, another thing I've really gotten into this year is growing flowers, cut flowers. I had sweet peas, I've got the rudbeckia, I've got snapdragons, dahlias, gladioli, cosmos, what else? Cornflowers, you name it, zinnias. I've grown so many and I've absolutely loved growing them. So watch this space, because I'm going to be growing a lot more of that next year. Bit of a failure down here, rhubarb. I moved this, it didn't like it, and so it was already weakened, and then the slugs had a field day. Yesterday I topped it all up with my compost, and I'm hoping, crossing everything, that it will be okay for next year. So watch this space. Oh no, let's go here. Oh, just gonna have a cup of tea. Right, success. Cucumbers. I'm quite new to growing cucumbers, but they've been really successful. I've got, I don't know what this one's, I can't remember what any of them are called, but ouch, they're so prickly. I grew these, oh, I'm gonna have to put it down. I've got a few here. These ones are a pickling variety, so I'm going to get on with that this afternoon, and I'll have this one, keep this fresh. The children will probably take that in their lunch boxes this week. But yeah, I'm quite new to growing cucumbers, but they seem to be really happy. I think there's even more to pick. This is a pepper plant here. Peppers, outdoor peppers, not really done that well, but I'm just going to keep them in for a bit longer. Yeah, there's another few cucumbers there. I've got another variety. Is this the new? I don't know. I've got another variety. I've got one over there that wasn't so happy. I've noticed, so I've only been growing cucumbers for about 3 years, and when I let them just sprawl about like this, they seem to be happier. So anyway, failure. This is a failure. I bought 3 of these arches, and the big plan was to have all my beans, having lovely arches with beans over them, through the vegetable garden. I didn't pay much money for them, and it shows you get what you pay for, because if you look, they just snapped. I'm so disappointed by it. It just seems like such a waste. It really does. So yeah, I'm not going to be repeating that. Just move this. There's branches obviously fallen off something there. What I did have growing up here were the Greek gigantes beans. Now I went to a seed swap earlier in the year, and I got 5 Greek gigantes. 4 of them germinated, which I had growing up here, and I was growing this purely so I'd have plenty of seed for next year. So I've got a few more than the 5 I started with, so hopefully next year I will have enough. I'd say, because some of them fell off already, I'd say I've probably got about 20 to 30 seeds, so fingers crossed they will be okay. In fact, there's more than that, because I've seen there's some dried ones here. Mind you, they feel quite empty. I wonder why that is. Shall we have a look? Oh no, there we go. Just that they were fully dried. Lovely. They're not huge actually, but see if this one's any bigger. I honestly feel like there's nothing inside them. I don't, but there is. Here we go. Right, so just coming around here, I'm going to take you to the compost, because I'm going to stick this on the compost. This has been a success story. So I've managed to get compost twice out of this year. I am just so blown away by how good it's been. So the reason it's been so good is I've been chopping up the compost fairly small. I've been making sure the mix is right, so plenty of green to plenty of torn up cardboard and browns and things, and I've turned it, and oh my goodness, it has just been brilliant. Within 4 months I've been able to get compost. So this is one that I've just turned, and I've just added those bits to it. But just down here, this I'm just finishing this. It's not perfect, it's not absolutely beautiful, ready to sow your seed in, but I'm using it all around like the fruit bushes and things like that. And we're going to redo this whole section this year to make sure we got more compost space so we can keep on adding to it. But honestly, guys, it's a no-brainer. It saves you so much money, and the fertility that that must have is just incredible. Coming down here, this is a straw bale. We had a family party recently and I was hoping to set up a festival toilet. If you haven't seen them, just go and have a look. I think it's a French idea, and where they put funnels into straw bales and then the men folk can all go and, you know, do what they have to do, and then you can compost it. We tried, we couldn't seem to find these funnels anywhere, and to be honest I didn't want to spend the money on it, so I thought I'd improvise with a milk carton. That didn't work, and we decided in the end it was going to be easier for the men to just aim. And anyway, so that saved, I would say, about 100 flushes of the loo, possibly slightly less. I can't believe that. How many litres of water is that saved from just going down the drain? And not only that, this is now going to be composted on the compost heap and in turn add the fertility to the garden. It's just absolutely a no-brainer to me. And that cost me £4, £4 for that. And what that's going to bring to the garden, plus what it saved me in water, is amazing. So absolutely brilliant idea. So coming round, whoops, failure. Here's a failure. My runner beans. One thing we made a mistake. I tried to build the arch over the pathway here, but it wasn't quite big enough. So that I need to do for next year. But it's just been so dry that the beans hated it. No matter how much watering I did, they hated it. So that's a lesson learned. So I'm just now the beans that are on there, I'm just saving the seed for next year. So let's grab my tea. I have more corn in here. What have we got? Ah, right. So this has been a success. Courgettes. Even though we don't really like them, we always have success with them. So these have been, I mean, I think everyone just grows courgettes because you don't have to do anything to them. How have I, oh, I tell you, I did win a prize for my courgette chili jam in the local gardening show. And actually there's a video about that on my channel. So have a look at that. It was actually, I think, one of my first videos I ever did. So that's a really good way to use these up. If you don't like chutney, you'd like the courgette chili jam because it's not really a chutney and it's just so, well, I think it's so delicious. And what other things? Oh, recently I made a courgette apple pie and I didn't tell the family. I just served it all up and they would not believe me that it was a courgette in there. So I sliced them up so they look like apples and I put loads of sugar and cinnamon and you literally couldn't tell the difference. Honestly, you should try it. I think I'm going to bring a video out soon about how many ways we use courgettes because I have to sneak it into so many things. And honestly, there are so many things you can do. I'll put that there. I'll probably forget about it. Just coming to the side here, I've got my raspberries. Now, these are Autumn Bliss and they're just getting going. Everything this year, it's been sort of setting it all up, really. Just trying to get things, you know, in some sort of order. So things aren't doing great. These are just sort of, you know, putting down roots, I suppose. We've had enough to sort of have a handful each day with our breakfast, but my plan is to extend it more and get more plants. So I've got some more. This is more here, but then these two little bushes here. These are the golden type of raspberry, and I don't know if you can already see how many fruits are on these tiny bushes. We are picking probably, I don't know, 5 or so of these a day, which doesn't sound much, but considering the size of these, and the flavour is amazing, and they're huge as well. And added bonus, the birds don't seem to touch them. So I'm definitely going to sort of extend that as well as the strawberries. I've got more tomatoes behind me here. I can't remember the variety. I want to say Sweet Million, but I'm not sure. I always muddle up. Always, always, always. But these are now just getting going. The wind has just come through here and knocked them over. And as you can see, the roots are all coming up. So yeah, it's coming to the end of the season, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I wouldn't say it's a success, but it's something I love growing. I love growing beans of all sorts. I just absolutely love it. The children love playing with them. Plus, obviously, we eat them, and they're just so beautiful. So this variety, I'm just going to show you, it's called Jacob's Cattle. And, oops, just dropped it. Don't know if you can see, just look how gorgeous they are. They're absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love these, plus the borlottis that are down there. But these ones, honestly, they are so beautiful. Don't want to lose them. Is that one there? That's a borlotti. Right, where should we go next? What do you think we should do next, John? Let's come over here. So this was our meadow. We've just cut this. Now next year, I don't think this is going to be a meadow. We are going to be sort of expanding the vegetable garden more to get much more fruit and veg. So we need to just plan it out a bit. I want to do no dig, however, it's just getting your hands on the compost. So if you've got any ideas, please let me know how you think I can turn this into a garden. Whether we do dig it all over first, I don't know, but I don't want to disturb the soil. It's a real tricky one. Thing is, I love my meadow. It's really pretty, and it takes us to the pond over here. Oh, I forgot. Got Jerusalem artichokes here. They're more, to be honest, we don't really eat them. They're potentially for the future when we get some goats, maybe. We've got some very sick looking trees. I suspect it's because of all the grasses growing around them, but also we've got a huge, great big ash tree above us here, which is obviously sucking all the moisture. So I don't know what we're going to do about that, really. Might have to leave that as it is. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but just here, keep dropping beans everywhere. We've got a rather lovely pond just behind us that we plan to sort of clear all this and sort of take full advantage of it. At the moment, as you can see, it's rather overgrown, so we'll have to see what happens. So, like I said, that was a whistle-stop tour of the garden. It's been a really mixed year. I'd love to know what your year's been like. If you have had a really rubbishy year, or you know, what are your successes and failures? Because I think sometimes we always focus on, oh, it's been a rubbish year, these are the failures, and actually there are successes, and I think we just need to focus on that a little bit more. And there's always next year. So I think what I'm going to do now is pick some more of these dried beans and shell these, and catch you next time. See you.